welcome Princeps to a short guide on the command terminal. No game of Adeptus Titanicus can be played without them, and it gives Adeptus Titanicus an in-depth and thematic feel as your Titans lose shields, take damage, crews get injured, and they overheat. These are all things you have to manage turn by turn. In this example, we're going to be using a Reaver Battle Titan. It has no special rules, and it covers everything we need to know. So grab yourself a card, the rulebook, some weapon cards and counters, and let's take a look. Okay Princeps, let's start from the top. In the top left hand corner is the Opus Titanica. That's the T in the circle. And put a numbered counter that corresponds to the same terminal next to your Titan. That way you can know which one is which. Next to that is the order square. Once you have an order, you can put the order dice in that square to remind you that that Titan is under that order. I personally like to put the dice next to the Titan. It's easier to see for myself and my opponent. And we'll cover that in a later video. In the large box in the centre right is the type of Titan, in this case Reaver, the scale, which is 8, Immensus, and you'll have the points as well, which doesn't include weapons. Scale is important because it relates to interacting with terrain, certain weapons, and using smash attacks, etc., which we'll explain later on. Let's move on to the Titan's characteristics. It has a command value of 4+, which means when it has to take a command check, it will have to roll 4 or more on a d10. It has a ballistic skill of 3+. This is used mainly for ranged combat, and this is used on a d6. It has a weapon skill of 4+, and this is intended for more close quarters combat, and this is also on a d6. A Titan will have 2 speed characteristics, a standard speed and a boosted speed. And the boosted speed is used when you push the reactors. Again, this is something that we'll cover in a later video. Maneuvers are the same. You can see here that a Reaver Titan can maneuver twice. This is 2 turns. If you push the reactor, you can use the secondary figure, which is 3 turns. It also has 3 cervidicales. This denotes how many d6 dice you will roll to try and repair damage in the damage repair phase. Next up, the plasma reactor and void shield tracks. Place your counters in the first holes on the track on the left side, denoted on my screen with the blue lights. The counters will move up the track as your reactors get hotter and your void shields start to fail from incoming fire. During the game, this can result in catastrophic meltdowns and your Titan being unprotected. But there's also the chance that you can call your reactors in the repair phase and raise new void shields. We're now moving on to the damage hit locations. These are the head, the body, the legs, and the weapon cards at the bottom. Let's add some now. With the head, body and leg locations, start with a counter again on the left hand side, as denoted on my screen with a little green light. As your Titan starts taking damage in these locations, which we'll explain in later videos, the track will move up until it reaches the end. Once it reaches the end, you will start taking damage on the triangular locations. These are the critical hit location. Every time you take damage there, you add a counter, and when it reaches the end, any further damage will result in the death of your Titan, or engine kill as we like to say. The critical hit locations as well will also result in different ways your Titan will react, from injured crew to overheating to affecting your mobility. Hits that affect your weapon cards could also disable those weapons, and in order to get them working, you would have to repair them. And finally, we have the weapon cards themselves. These will give you all the information you need to use the armaments of your Titans. These include who it's for, the points, the type of weapon, its range, short and long, any bonuses to hit, its firing arc, how many attack dice, the strength of the weapon, further weapon traits, and what it takes to disable a weapon. All these will make a lot more sense when we get into the action. So that's it Princeps, a quick overview of the command terminal. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be the strategy phase.